Imagine this, a room filled with serious-faced politicians grilling a doctor. No, it's not a scene from Grey's Anatomy. This was Dr. Fauci's day at the political rodeo, better known as a congressional hearing. These hearings are designed to hold public officials accountable, but they also double as political theater at its finest, and boy, did this one deliver. It's like watching a tennis match, but instead of a ball, they're volleying accusations and defenses. Dr. Fauci, our nation's top infectious disease expert, found himself in the hot seat once again. This time, the select subcommittee wanted answers about COVID-19. They left no stone unturned, probing into lockdowns, masks, and vaccines. The hearing was broadcast live, drawing millions of viewers eager to see if Fauci would crack under pressure. Would he reveal any secrets? Confess to a vast conspiracy? Maybe not, but the stakes were high. This hearing wasn't just about one doctor or one virus, it was about trust. Trust in science, in government, and even in those mysterious little packets of soy sauce you get with takeout. Join us as we unpack the drama, the revelations, and the implications of this high-stakes political showdown. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates and insights into the world of politics and public health. Stay informed, stay curious. Section 2. Science under scrutiny, the gain-of-function debate. One of the hottest topics of the hearing was gain-of-function research. This is a controversial area of science that involves tweaking viruses in a lab to understand them better. Sounds like a great idea, right? Well, it's a lot more complicated than that. Imagine trying to disarm a bomb by adding more wires. You might learn something, but you also might blow yourself up. Some critics accuse Dr. Fauci of funding gain-of-function research that may have led to the COVID-19 outbreak. Fauci vehemently denied these claims, arguing that the research he supported was not gain-of-function. He insisted it was vital for pandemic preparedness. It was a classic, he said, she said situation with both sides armed with studies and statistics. The problem is, science is complicated. Explaining it to politicians is like trying to teach a goldfish to ride a bicycle. You're not sure who's more confused. The hearing quickly devolved into a jargon-filled shouting match. Senators threw around terms like viral load and antigenic drift, like they were playing scientific buzzword bingo. Lost in the noise was the fact that gain-of-function research is a complex issue with valid arguments on both sides. But hey, who needs nuance when you can have a good old-fashioned political brawl? Section 3, Masquerade, the on-again, off-again saga. Remember the Great Mask Debate of 2020? Those were simpler times. Back when the biggest decision we had to make was whether to wear a surgical mask or splurge on an N95. Of course, it wasn't so simple for everyone. Masks became a political flashpoint, a symbol of freedom versus safety. The subcommittee grilled Dr. Fauci on the ever-changing mask guidance from health officials. Why did they initially say masks weren't necessary? Then why did they change their minds? Were they just making it up as they went along? Fauci calmly explained that science is an evolving field. New information emerges, leading to updated recommendations. It's like trying to solve a puzzle while blindfolded and someone keeps handing you new pieces. But try explaining that to someone who's convinced the government is trying to control their face. The mask debate highlighted the difficulty of communicating complex scientific information during a crisis. It also showed how quickly trust can erode when people feel confused or misled. The takeaway? Science is messy. Pandemics are messier. And trying to navigate both while being yelled at by politicians? Well, that's just asking for a headache. Section 4. Vaccine victories and vexations. Let's talk vaccines, baby. Or rather, let's talk about the political football that vaccines became. The COVID-19 vaccines were a triumph of modern science developed in record time. They offered a way out of the pandemic, a glimmer of hope in a dark time. But they also became a source of intense division. Anti-vaccine sentiment, fueled by misinformation and conspiracy theories, spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone from your yoga instructor to your Aunt Carol was an expert on immunology. The subcommittee grilled Dr. Fauci on vaccine safety and efficacy. They questioned the speed of development and the potential for long-term side effects. Fauci, armed with mountains of data and a lifetime of experience, defended the vaccines. He emphasized their rigorous testing and the overwhelming evidence of their safety and effectiveness. But facts often struggled to penetrate the wall of fear and distrust that had been erected. The vaccine debate highlighted the challenges of combating misinformation, and the importance of clear, consistent communication from trusted sources. It also showed how difficult it is to have a rational discussion about science when emotions are running high. Section 5. Follow the science more like follow the politics. One phrase kept popping up throughout the hearing. Follow the science. It sounds simple enough, right? Science should be the guiding principle in a public health crisis. But what happens when science collides with politics? When data points clash with talking points? That's when things get messy. The hearing exposed the uncomfortable truth that science is often filtered through a political lens. Decisions about lockdowns, mask mandates, and vaccine distribution were influenced not only by scientific evidence, but also by political calculations, economic considerations, and public pressure. It's like trying to bake a cake using a recipe written in a foreign language while being judged by Gordon Ramsay. This isn't to say that science was completely ignored, but it was often selectively interpreted or presented in a way that supported pre-existing agendas. The result was confusion, distrust, and a sense that the people in charge didn't really have a handle on things. The lesson here is that science and politics are uneasy bedfellows. When they're forced to share a bed, someone's bound to get kicked in the face. Section 6, In Fauci We Trust, the Legacy and the Lessons. So what did we learn from Dr. Fauci's day at the Congressional Rodeo? First, that public health is inherently political. Second, that science is complex and constantly evolving. Third, that communicating science to the public is like trying to herd cats on roller skates. Good luck with that. The hearing also highlighted the importance of transparency and accountability. The public deserves to know how decisions are being made, especially when it comes to their health. They also deserve to hold their leaders accountable when those decisions fall short. Dr. Fauci, for his part, emerged from the hearing bruised but unbowed. He defended his record with passion and conviction. He also acknowledged the mistakes that were made along the way. Because even the smartest people in the room make mistakes, especially when they're dealing with a novel virus and a rapidly evolving situation. The COVID-19 pandemic was a stress test for our nation's public health system. It exposed its strengths and, more glaringly, its weaknesses. It also showed us that science is not a magic bullet. It's a process, a journey, and sometimes a bumpy ride. And just like in those amusement park rides, it's best not to look down.